Ivorian presidential elections, Alassane Ouattara will fall this time. Why 2025 will not be 2020? History never serves the same dish twice. What worked in 2020 can no longer save Alassane Ouattara in 2025. To believe otherwise is to condemn oneself to a resounding downfall. Even in 2020, his third term was a blatant rape of the constitution, a usurpation disguised by the macabre staging around the death of Amadou Gon Coulibaly. But to attempt the same trick in 2025 is more than a political misstep, it is a fatal error. It is the very embodiment of what François Mitterrand once denounced as a permanent coup d'état, the perversion of democracy into a monarchy, where the constitution is reduced to a rag. As a proverb warns, you may deceive the people once with tears, but you cannot fool them twice with the same handkerchief. And 2025 is nothing like 2020. The cards have been reshuffled, the security, political, economic, regional, and international landscapes now lean radically against the tyrant Ouattara. That is why 2025 will not be 2020. 2020, the advantages of a regime still tolerated. In 2020, the despot Ouattara still reigns supreme. 1. A formidable inner circle. He had his three musketeers, Amadou Gon Coulibaly, Ahmed Bakayoko, Amadou Soumaoro, and Sheikh Boikary Fofana, not to mention Kandia Kamara, Mamadou Touré, Adama Bictogo, etc., all ready to draw their swords to defend his throne. At that time, his regime resembled a fortress, strong on the outside, yet riddled within by the cracks of illegitimacy. 2. The emotional card. The death of Amadou Gon Coulibaly was cynically exploited. Tears on the surface, cold calculations behind the curtain. This tragedy, converted into political capital, fooled many a naive soul. As the saying goes, the misfortune of one becomes the fortune of another. And let us say it plainly, Amadou Gon Coulibaly's death rejoiced no one but Alassane Ouattara. Who else benefited from it? The question answers itself. 3. A neutralized opposition. Guillaume Soro silenced in exile, Laurent Gbagbo shackled at The Hague, and only Henri Konan Bédié left standing, isolated like an old lion without a pride. 4. Solid backers. France, then almighty, activated its levers in Brussels, and New York to guarantee him diplomatic cover. In West Africa, he enjoyed the complicity of Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta in Mali, Roch Kabore in Burkina Faso, Alpha Condé in Guinea, Patrice Talon in Benin, Fournier in Togo, Macky Sall in Senegal, and Nana Akufo-Addo in Ghana. A protective belt of financial, political, and military support. In short, in 2020, Alassane Ouattara marched forward on a red carpet rolled out by Paris and its accomplices. But even red carpets end up stained with blood. 2025, a radically different battlefield. But 2025 is no longer 2020. 1. His pillars have crumbled. His valiant soldiers are dead, Amadou Gon Coulibaly, Ahmed Bakayoko, Sheikh Boikary Fofana, Amadou Soumaoro, or politically disqualified. The survivors are tired, worn, or in disgrace. A king without warriors is but an old man seated on an empty throne. 2. His regional allies have fallen. Roch Kabore, Alpha Condé, IBK, Macky Sall, Nana Akufo-Addo, swept away by their peoples or by coups. The protective belt has shattered. The dictator Ouattara, once surrounded by accomplices, now sits alone, like a card player abandoned mid-game. 3. France has lost its grip. Paris, once so dominant, is now a political dwarf in West Africa. Expelled from Mali, sidelined in Burkina, ignored in Niger, it no longer has the strength to save its Ivorian pawn. When the godfather falls, the protégé trembles. 4. The opposition has regrouped. Laurent Gbagbo has returned, fortified by his popular base. Guillaume Soro, backed by the AES bloc, holds strategic ground and military allies. Alassane Ouattara no longer faces a fractured opposition, but a living, breathing one. The mortal weaknesses of the regime in 2025. 1. A power in isolation. No reliable relays, no international complicity. Even yesterday's flatterers turn their backs. The flatterer of today is the traitor of tomorrow. 2. A disastrous record. A stalled economy, massive unemployment, a disillusioned youth, endemic corruption, crushing debt. His regime is like a house without a roof, it collapses with the first rain. 3. The end of masks. In 2020, he had Amadou Gon Coulibaly as a pretext. Today, nothing remains. The mask is off. The artifices are gone. 4. A system stretched to breaking point. A fourth term has no justification, neither moral, political, nor diplomatic. Even his former sponsors are weary of defending the indefensible. As an African proverb reminds us, when the drum is broken, it gives no sound, no matter how skilled the hands that strike it. The inevitable script of the fall. It is all written. 1. Forcing elections amidst chaos. Alassane Ouattara will organize the ballot at all costs, even if Côte d'Ivoire burns. 2. The illusion of victory. As in 2020, he will proclaim himself winner, believing he has tamed the opposition and muzzled the people. 3. The brutal reversal. But it will be precisely when he believes he has triumphed, that the edifice will crumble. Suddenly. For history has its ruses, and it never forgives those who defy the people. The tree that believes it touches the sky always forgets that its roots lie in the earth. This is why 2025 will not be 2020. In 2020, the despot Ouattara still surfed on alliances, complicities, and artifices. In 2025, he has nothing left, no allies, no legitimacy, no masks. Only a weary, isolated regime on borrowed time. People of Côte d'Ivoire, the hour has come. Mobilize yourselves, tirelessly, with resolve. History is not repetition. This time, the Ouattara dynasty will fall.
La guerre qui est entre vous et le Burkina, c'est vous qui l'avez créée.
The war between you and Burkina Faso, you created it. It's not the Ivorian people. As a daughter of the North, I don't agree that these attacks are happening in my country. We in the North don't live like that. We've never lived like that. You want to take the North hostage, tell the Northerners to look at what's happening. If I leave power, this is what will happen to you. That's what you're in. You're nothing else. You're in another plane. We saw Independence Day, you marched and showed your weapons, to tell us that you're ready. You didn't think about the Senufo people. These weapons that you took to march in order to show that you're ready, why didn't you put them at the border to protect the Ivorians, the people of the North? Captain Ibrahim Traoré regularly complains that terrorists come from Côte d'Ivoire to attack them, and when they finish attacking them, they return to Côte d'Ivoire. Knowing full well that you are from the North and that the people of the North are there, as president, what decisions have you made? What defense decisions has President Ouattara made for the Senufo people? Already, during your power, you have done nothing for us. Yes, you have not allowed our farmers to cultivate their land. You have done nothing for them. You have not had a social plan for them. Even their cashew nuts, sometimes they call you to tell you that they have not been purchased. All this under your power. Are you really from the North? Are you from the North? How is it that the North is not secure? How is it that in the North, these people can freely enter, commit kidnappings and leave with them? Are you really from the North? Because you don't think about the people of the North. How is it that we are on the border with people, where your nationals are, where your people are, where you say you come from, yet it is there that you attack without even thinking about your family? It is there that you have plans without thinking about your family, knowing full well that when they start, they will not start in the South. They will not start elsewhere. They will start there, where you say you come from. When I say this, I have my reasons because you say you come from the North. Yet, Burkina has never stopped saying that when terrorists carry out attacks in their country, it is from us that they come. It is from us that they come to get supplies. What patrol did you do in the North to resolve this problem? What security measures did you take to ensure that these people returned to Côte d'Ivoire? This is not the first time that these people have returned to Côte d'Ivoire and killed people on Senufo soil. While you say that you come from the North, you come from the North while we are taking action without thinking about the people of the North. You make a speech saying that you are ready, and that you have men ready to go and attack someone else to put a president in power. How is it that you say that you come from the north and this troop that you have to go and attack another country, you cannot put them on the border of Côte d'Ivoire to defend our country?
Chris Yapi does not lie. Find Chris Yapi on his 2 YouTube channels, his Rumble channel, his TikTok, X, Instagram, VK and Threads accounts.